Meteorologist Bob Van Dillen is there. And Bob, I understand you met a restaurant owner with quite a story. Tell us about her.
Yeah, this is a great story, too. Our crew and I, we were done with our shots for the morning. We were hungry, so we decided to get out of town a little bit because there wasn't much open. Went towards the west end of town, towards the Garden District, and we didn't see anything. But then all of a sudden, one little store, it was on our left. It had a line of people wrapped around it, had a nice little sign that said, "For free food, we have that." And we walked inside, and this lady was just fantastic. Kappa Horn is her name. By the way, she is the one that opened up the very first restaurant after Katrina hit. She was the only one that was open for that day. Here's her story.
Stranger too. Would you like coffee?
Owner Kappa Horn barks out orders to her customers, who are more than happy to follow.
We'll give them eggs.
She's chief cook and bottle washer at the Slim Goodies Diner here on Magazine Street at the southern end of New Orleans' Garden District. The restaurant's been a staple to the city and a storm stalwart with a special designation. How did you know this was going to be open today?
It was open after Katrina. We came here all the time. We're famous for it.
You were the first ones to open.
We were the first ones to open, so there was nobody here. When the mayor said, "This zip code could come back," I was like, "Yes, it's my zip code, for God's sakes, I'm going back." Oh, we're up.
After Katrina, the sidewalk outside was lined with grills, feeding comfort food to residents recovering from the storm of all storms.
My mother always used to tell me that, because when I was 5 years old, I started following her around the kitchen. And she's like, "We're cooking with a little love. We're putting a little love in this."
It's her duty, she says, to keep serving it up.
We're just making coffee, making scrambled eggs, hash browns, and bacon and toast. It's kind of like a big party, and everybody knows whenever there's a storm that Slim's will be open the next day.
Power was still out after Isaac came through as piles of food simmered in the dark. But you didn't need lights to lead the way here, with the smell of bacon grease wafting out to the street. And when these doors flung open after the storm, the customers lined up around the corner, hungry and just happy to get out of the house.
I basically woke up in my hot, stinky apartment, decided I was tired of waiting inside, so we decided there's some places had to be open.
Nice. See, I didn't even order that. This is what I'm talking about. This is nice. They just put it on there. So, I mean, this is probably going to be a place for the future because they won me over on, I'm starving.
For some, Isaac was their first hurricane.
I lived in San Antonio. We don't get any kind of weather events there at all.
And Horn is happy to be here for all of them.
I love my customers so much. I mean, it's this is my family. I don't have a family, so this is my family.
And what's better than that after a storm? Yeah, it was great. I mean, the pile of food you had right there, it was scrambled eggs, it was 2 pieces of bacon, it was a lot of home fries and bread. You had all the coffee you could drink, all the water, all the juice. It was fantastic. It was almost on your honor system where you just walk in, you throw a $5 bill in the bucket, and you can have whatever you want. It was fantastic. A little eerie, though, because she's opened up just a day after the 7-year anniversary that Hurricane Katrina actually hit. Aisha.
Yeah, pretty eerie, but she's an awesome woman. Bob Van Dillen, you deserve a hot meal after everything you and all those folks in New Orleans have been through with Isaac. So thanks for the piece. Great reporting. Appreciate it. And you heard him say free meal, and the CNN crew was right there.
Gotta believe it. I mean, and how don't you love her?
Yes.
I mean, that is just showing strength and what it's like to come together after the importance of being together after something like that. I mean, what an atmosphere in that.
But we've seen resilience from people over and over again through this storm, and all the people who just ad hoc on their own, the people out in those boats rescuing people, those weren't part of any official group. They just went out in a boat and they did what they could to save their fellow human beings. I love the stories coming out of the Gulf Coast area.
The sense of community is so overwhelming, and it's one of the great things about this country, how in a time of crisis, people band together, and we've seen that in New Orleans and other places on the Gulf Coast hit hard by Isaac.
And, if you're inspired by this, if you want to help the people affected by Isaac, log on to CNN.com/impact, and you'll find a list of agencies providing aid.